nobody in here but me. This really is just because I was bored. It's either do this or go out and mess around in the rain. Hey, Westwind, LS, Sasquatch, Tracing. How y'all doing? This is me. Hello, Boosty. Oh, just decided to go live randomly, like because I could. It's kind of an internet test, and stuff. Hey, Frank. Hey, a lot of you people sit around the afternoon and ain't got nothing to do. But seriously, I am. I'll do that pretty much only the hardcore. Did I say hi to Trayson yet? I believe so. Trayson Berry. Anyway. Ooh, feel special, Chipper. There is a video or a subscriber appreciation giveaway forthcoming. I still got to mail Smolo's Flint to him and get LS's stick in the mail to her. Yeah, that's me, Frank. Anyway, it's either going to be a sweatshirt or a hoodie. Probably a sweatshirt. Because, I don't know. Hoodies just seem like thuggy to me. I like hoodies. But not everybody likes to be all wearing a hoodie and being all thugged out or whatever. It will be a one-of-a-kind item. And it'll have the WSS sticker logo on it. And it'll have probably just a badge size. It may have the full size. I haven't made up my mind on the Drum Texas edition. And then it'll have the Stay Alive, Don't Die on it. We'll do I'll figure out all the druthers and stuff. And then we'll do the giveaway. Was at the t-shirt shop looking and talking. They can do that. They're willing to make me a good deal. So, y'all keep a watch for that. Hey, Brian. Pretty awesome to see him from at work. Gregor in Dallas. That's about it. I'll put a video on Patreon because I was checking some news and it's really hard to translate stuff, even with the translator or whatever, from Russian to English. But then when you do, you get really mad when you realize what we're not being told, and the side. Well, I guess their side would be a polar opposite to our side on a lot of the news we get. So if you take and split it right down the middle, you're like, well, damn it. I mean, you split it down the middle and you still realize we're being lied to. Or flat or redirected. Hey, Gray Man Outdoor. Oh, that's fine. Things happen. I didn't die from eating the deer cornbread. Wanted to give everybody a heads up on that. Didn't die from eating the wheat flour that was from 7-year-old wheat. Just no mylar, no oxygen absorber, no nothing. Just a white Walmart bucket with no gasket. Just a lid. Just put it in there and put a lid on it and kept somewhere dry and cool. And 7 years later, it makes flour and it doesn't kill you, and it tasted really flipping good. All right, Sam, be careful. Yeah, deer cornbread. Yes, we got a grinder. My wife bought a grinder. The box is over there. I'm not gonna go get it because I'm lazy. And I grounded it up. Yeah, made cornbread myself, and then I ate it. Couldn't tell the difference. Gotta be careful because deer corn's not washed, so it's got like little pieces of corn husk and stuff, corn cob and everything in it. So gotta get that out. But other than that, it's corn. Did some seed corn, or not seed corn, feed corn too, like for the chickens. That's washed. It's just regular corn. But it's like $9 or $9.80 a bag for 50 pounds, which isn't bad. But we got the deer corn. The deer corn's on clearance right now everywhere. Nobody's selling it, trying to get rid of it. And you can get it anywhere from $5 to $6 a bag, depending on where you stop. And it's 40 pounds, so it's pretty cheap. And if nothing else, I can stack up the deer corn and run it through the grinder with the grinder gapped open, at maximum or whatever, and it'll just make it'll just make cracked corn, basically. Sift run it through the sifter, take the meal out, and throw the big chunks to the chickens. What's winter red wheat going for now? Don't know. The missus could tell you. She just bought a bag of it. It wasn't bad, and we ordered it off of that's something Decky. I don't know what it is. Actually, just came in from doing stuff, and there's no time. That's probably chicken crap. Nope. But I need to know if I need to wash my hands from my jacket. It's odorless. I don't know what it is. Anyway. See, I don't think the Mylar bags on the grain is. Not after that test. It wasn't even meant to be a test. We acquired that wheat from somebody who was like, oh, I forgot to rotate this out. Feed it to your chickens. So he gave us 4 or 5 gallon buckets. And I fed one. The chickens liked it. And I was like, yep, it doesn't. And we got the new wheat in. And I looked and I was like, I can't tell any difference. I can't smell any different. So I was like, you know what? Let's just check. And I ground some of the new stuff. ground up. Did the new stuff and the 7-year-old stuff ground up the same. I didn't cook the new stuff. I didn't grind that much. I just ground a few tablespoons. And which you can eat that raw. Did you know that? I know. I've always been afraid to eat raw flour because it was like raw flour, and I always thought, yeah, but raw wheat actually tastes pretty good. Just saying. I'm enjoying it. It's actually got a fairly decent flavor. Yours. That's cool, bro. This was like a super random thing. It seems like every time I've got a stream planned or whatever, 3 or 4 guys pop up live, and always feel guilty about going live. And this time I was here, I was like, hey, nobody else is live. I'm just flipping gonna go live and chat and just be like, no guilt chat day, whatever. I bet you can't. You just need to crack it first, Gray Man. Not that I think guineas can eat it whole. Matter of fact, I've seen guineas eat whole corn. But if you take the deer corn and crack it first, it's easier for them to run through and digest. They get more out of the grain because it's less energy. Hey, into the bush. I was going to do today this afternoon was actually a scheduled bushcraft day, but in case you're hanging, I could go show you how to build a rainproof shelter in the rain, but no. Yeah, see, I think as long as you keep the water off of it, I think you're good to go. Now, we did some ultra long life forever, supposed to stay good, no sunlight, no nothing. We did some Mylar bag stuff with the wheat that we ordered. So in theory, that stuff should be good. You know, it should be like in the bottom of the pyramid. It should be fine. That you know what? I should have done this on my phone. Could have run out there, and that's because it's raining, and that'll tell you. That's a lot of mud on top of that rain, and it'll tell me a lot. I'm go test that it'll shed water thing right now, but I believe I'm going to have to go ahead and do a how to thatch your mud hut video. That's what I'm trying to do, LS, is figure out alternate incomes, because with everything it takes to homestead, it does not leave a lot of time for working somewhere else. It's not like farming where you can go out there, you run your tractor for 3 months, get the soil ready, get the seeds in, keep the weeds down, and then you wait for harvest. It's a little different. Chickens eat ticks, guineas eat ticks. We don't have a tick problem on my property anymore. Anybody got any predictions on when the feces is going to hit the air redistribution device? Anybody got any? What would that be? F H I R FHIR. You know when FHIR happens? Or FHTR? FHTAR D. That's too many letters. $1630 on Tuesday. There you go. That's pretty precise with the October 12th. I was pretty sure it was going to be 12/12, but it didn't work. 2012. I was disappointed. Just working the wrong corner there, Chipper. Move to California and give it another shot. LS, I'm not sure that beating up salmon is a skill. Yeah, about 5 minutes after you win the Powerball, that's going to be me. Later, Brian. Nah, I'm still. It's going to within months of the next election, no matter which way it goes. Yeah, that's me and the wife were talking last night. And quite honestly, if I could justify not having a job, you know, my butt would move to the desert. Desert. Um, where I'm looking at an hour drive from my property to the closest store. And, no points A, B, and C in between. Because ain't nobody going to walk that. Nobody. The only downside to that is the desert we're thinking on is very hard to exist in without the grid. So, man, that would probably be a better way to spend my time music well as going through my bug out bag and stuff. Close to it, Sasquatch. There's a lot of really reasonably priced land over out in the desert over there. But I mean, you can't grow anything. Well, you can, if you've got water, you can grow. But and there's a water table. You can get lucky and get a well. But the tower and stuff, it would take tower and the windmill would take to pump the water. Pretty steep. It's tower is about $6,000. The gearhead's another $5,000. And then you're looking at the pump. With the pump's not bad. The pump's a few hundred. Yeah, and see, we've considered after a bit relocating to Tennessee or Alabama, Georgia area. But again, really need to. Some of the relocation is going to depend on how much we have to pay for the property. And the longer we wait to make a decision, the more expensive the property is going to be. I found is 19 and a half acres in Arkansas for 15 grand. Yeah. Damn it. I mean, one of the borders was adjacent power line right away. And it's a pretty long haul down a private road off the main road. And closest town was 45 minutes, I think, 45 minutes by road. And all it had was a gas station, convenience store, post office, stuff like that. Looking at an hour and a half. It was an hour and a half to a Walmart or a grocery store. When you go into Tennessee, Greg? Ooh. Probably are west wind. And see, hello, Kildare. We were wanting to do the Arkansas Ozark thing or whatever, but here you go. One of the places we visited, people were knitting blankets for trees. No. Y'all are broken the head. And I agree with the set apart thing, but the not the my way or the highway thing. So there's a lot of there could be a lot of friction if I wound up with the wrong neighbors in the Ozarks, and it's the last thing you want in grid down is friction. Um, you know, the radicals for every religion on the planet are going to, radicals or extremists, which would be a better word, are going to come out of the flipping woodwork in Tiwak. Okay. I mean, you're going to have zealots, maybe. Is that the right word? You're going to have Christian zealots. You're going to have Jewish zealots. You're going to have Muslim zealots. You're going to have, what do you call them? Those guys that wear the bed sheets at the airport. They're going to be smacking people over the head. Peace, love, and hope. Kind of stuff, or whatever they do. Tennessee does have some rural places. The only downside to it is they ain't no work. You got to drive forever to get a job that pays anything. I ain't working at Walmart. I'm reduced to having to shop there or nowhere, but I don't have to work there. Hey, Will. Yeah, exactly, Chipper. That'd be funny if you didn't know it was true. Photographic proof. A whole park dedicated to putting blankets on trees. They do have cool shops there. I mean, some of that hot sauce scares the crap out of me. But I don't know. Need to make a decision though before I, throw down as because this to buy the property around my house that I want to buy is 74 grand. So unless the guy decides to be all real, what do you call it? Charitable and let me have it at ag value. The ag value on this property is almost nothing. Literally, I mean, it's ag values. Literal on some of it, the ag value on it is less than $100 an acre because it's considered wasteland. It won't grow anything. It's bedrock. It won't grow anything. Yeah. Yeah. I guess instead of being halfway home to paying off my mortgage, I can go into half again what my mortgage started at and start over. Actually, it would just be doubling my mortgage. And instead of being down to just a few years, I'd be back up to 30. Excellent plan. So in theory, when I kick the bucket, my kids are going to be stuck owing, should have it nearly paid off by then. About 40 acres of it is actually tillable. It lays at a weird angle, so without terraces and stuff, it'd be hard to hold the moisture on for growing crops. How far west? 15 grand for 50 acres. That's over there by the Guadalupes. See, that's what we're thinking. Cheapest you're going to get property around my part of West Texas is $1,500 an acre. Well, you can stumble on it for $1,000 every once in a while. So if you want 74 acres, it's $74,000. It depends on what the SHTF is, because there's going to be a lot of fires. If it's a grid down thing, if it's an EMP and they wipe out the country, the infrastructure, the grid and all that stuff, there's going to be a lot of nuclear power plants that melt down. So there's going to be a lot of dead zones, and they're going to grow, and they're going to exist for a really long time. So there's that. There's going to be oil and gas fields that aren't going to be maintained, and there's going to be corrosion, and there's going to be downhole leakage, and then eventually surface leakage, and you're going to wind up with salt water and crude oil and natural gas and CO2 belching into the atmosphere unrestrained for years before the pressure equalizes and they kill themselves. So, 15, 20 years after the original deal, there's going to be another deal, probably equally so, if not more catastrophic. The better part of Southern California and Southern Central California has oil fields. Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, New Mexico, the Dakotas, Wyoming, be virtually uninhabitable when the oil field starts cratering and falling apart and dumping all that poison everywhere. I hope I'm painting y'all a pretty nice picture and stuff, and making y'all feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Maybe, around me, I'd be able to get a hold of a cement truck and get one or two kill trucks going and stuff, and I could flush cement in the surface casing and down the tubing and stuff. Plug the wells off, maybe. Maybe. 'Cause there's that. You know, all the rich people, just FYI, folks, the rich people aren't building in the Ozarks. They're building in South America. Hold on. Hey, the sun came out. It's not raining, guys and gals, ladies and germs. Hey, Dad on YouTube, ain't you supposed to be building a rocket ship or something? And Tina, I didn't see you sneak in here either. And JA, I was talking to you. I don't know if I said hey. And there will be a recovery, but after there'll be like people die. What is the that's the fire they call it the dying time? And as much as I'd like to believe that that's only going to affect the unprepared, it's going to get some of us preppers too. We're not, by prepping, we're not assuring our success. We're improving our odds of success. So each step that we achieve, each skill that we learn and perfect, not just, oh yeah, I did that once, I can do it again, the better our chances are. The rest of it, I mean, did I choose the right location? Did I choose the right group? Stuff like that. That's all. A lot of that's going to be luck. You know, luck plays into a lot of things. You can improve your odds when you're gambling, but you're still gambling. Well, I'm the Tina. What happened, Tina? Oh, sorry, Tina. Yeah, exactly. Whenever the coolant tanks quit working, the fuel rods will just be getting it. And when all the water eventually boils off, then you're going to catch on fire. And then you wind up with stuff like, I don't know, the elephant foot thing in Chernobyl or whatever it is. Yeah, the first bunch of the first 3 or 4 months, 6 months, the marauders and stuff you got to deal with, you ain't gonna be shit. It's the ones that come snooping around after that last winter or the next winter. It's the ones that you know, they made out doing it that way. They learned how to do it that way. That's their plan. They're professionals at it now. They know how to communicate. They're probably they're not going to be like some Mad Max crew where if you do something wrong, the boss man stabs you in the eyeball with a pencil or whatever. It's these people are going to be friends. They're going to be like family to each other. They're going to have each other's backs, but you're just food, or your stuff is just their stuff. You're just the person that has their stuff, and they got to take it away from you. And they don't care what they have to do to you to get the stuff that they feel is theirs, because will they survive? It's me. Yeah, Milwaukee. Milwaukee's gonna suck for a long time. Yeah, gambling's definitely different for the house. You already probably ought to work your way up the ladder there at Rocket Science. See if you can get you one of them one in Walmart tunnels, brother. That's what you ought to do. Yeah, which is definitely a fake world. I mean, that if watching Fox News and CNN and MSN and MSNBC or whatever, if watching all the mainstream news stuff doesn't convince you that the world they want us to believe we're living in is all a lie, then there's no way to convince you of anything. That's my worry, Jay. If you know, can I go another round? I mean, I hope so. Uh, you know, I hope I can eat at least punches to soften it up for my kids and my grandkids. I got six grandkids I got to worry about. Six. My bad. Five. Five grandkids I got to worry about. There's a whole lot of nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews that I'd kind of like to see make it too. But the houses that they're in aren't concerned about this stuff. So there's the weeping and gnashing of teeth. Even for those of us who make it, we're still going to be mourning the loss of children. And that's man, every time we have to go to the city or whatever for something that Leyland's got going on, or for one to see like the missus has to go to Austin. Just it's been a week in Austin. The only place worse than Austin is Houston. Austin and Houston are worse than Dallas, and I hate Dallas. I mean, there's a lot of good people in Dallas. There's a lot of good people in Austin. There's good people in Houston. But it's crazy down there. I mean, there's people going every which way at 100 miles an hour. You know, crime rates crazy high. there's no way to walk. If you're downtown Dallas and somebody turns the light switch off, dude, how are you going to walk out of that? I mean, it's not safe to walk down the street today. How are you going to walk out of downtown Houston when there's nobody to stop anybody from doing whatever it is they want to do? I mean, you better be able to walk fast, and you need to make the decision to walk out now. At first, everybody be in shock, don't be paying any attention to anybody else. Got maybe 2-3 hours. That's it. Before somebody figures it out. You know, if ain't nobody got a cell phone, if ain't nobody got a running car, if ain't nobody got any lights, it's going to get figured out. Because there's going to be somebody with a bicycle, you know, and somebody's going to figure it out, and the word's going to start getting around. You might have 8 hours, but I wouldn't gamble on it. Depending on which way you're trying to get out of the city, it may take you more than 8 hours to walk out. You'd have to step it off pretty hard if from downtown Dallas. You'd have to step it off real hard to get past the population if you were coming back to my house. And if you went the short way out of town, then you've got to run through 15 or 20 small towns to get back home. And you've done used up your window of people still trying to figure out what's going on just to get out of the city. So I don't think very many of those small towns are going to let you walk through them. You know, if you're the first one there, yeah, maybe. But if somebody beat you there and they did something stupid, no. And everybody think, well, small town USA will band together and things will be all hunky-dory and they'll survive because they're a community. No. Those guys are beating each other's butts in high school over a girl. You think they're going to get along forever? You know, Bubba fired Billy Joe over running the forklift through the side of the barn. Billy Joe never got over it. It's humans, people. You're dealing with humans. It's going to be scary. I think the standard belief is that you've got an 8-hour reaction time before the unaware and unprepared figure something's wrong. But I don't think you've got that long. I think max before people start freaking out and causing mayhem and looting and stuff like that, it's 3 hours. And there'll be mobs and it'll be dangerous within 3 hours in the big cities. If there's any kind of fires or explosions or anything like that from, let's say it's an EMP, or let's say it's nuclear war. I got in trouble again because I did the whole thing, started researching nuclear war. It is a viable option. You can win a nuclear war. You detonate rather than now I forget the two different bombs. You detonate the low yield um, device a few miles above the target. The shock wave and the overpressure and the heat kills all the people. Does moderate damage to the buildings. A lot of the fires and stuff that are started by that blast will be put out when the air fills back in. Fallout will be a minimum, with these devices, because if you detonate above the surface, it doesn't irradiate. There's, the radiation isn't absorbed by the debris from the burning and exploding buildings. It burns off into super tiny particles that burn up faster. But if it's detonated, now the high altitude bomb kills more people. There's no doubt there. The high altitude bomb will kill more people. It will do more damage to circuits and stuff like that, because the shock wave isn't slowed down by the ground. The energy isn't reflected up. It's allowed to radiate out. So instead of having a 5-mile diameter kill zone, you wind up with an 8. If it's something like that, it still does a little mushroom cloud. And people see that, and then everybody knows what's going on. If you hit, pop 2 over New York, pop 1 over Chicago, a couple over DC, 1 at the choke point on Florida, up there where the Panhandle meets the rest of the state. What would that be? Orlando, Florida. And then 1 at Houston. They wouldn't even have to go. They wouldn't even have to hit Dallas. They can hit Houston and New Orleans. Take out the 2 ports, the 2 main ports down at the Gulf, and then 2 or 3 in Southern California, 2 or 3 in Central California, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it takes up in Oregon, and where odd military bases here and there. It wouldn't take much. 20. They only got to get through with 20 or 30 low yield, high speed nuclear devices, and they've killed 3 million people, and they've completely shut the country down. Hello, expatriate family. But anyway, yeah. Everybody talks about they'll have to burn the world to the ground if they do a nuclear war or whatever. They actually don't. And that's what scares me, is the fact that they figured out a way to pull it off without burning the world to the ground. Now the race is just on to see who can get the fastest missiles in the air. And ain't nobody needs to launch that many communication satellites, people. Why would we need that many communication satellites? We don't. The Canadians, eh? I don't know. Probably not. Especially not if they're British Canadians. Because they think we're bad peoples. Yeah, Grayman needs to learn how to say, hey, he's from Minnesota now. Yeah, I'm from Minnesota. Eh? I had a friend that was from Minnesota. I loved her. She was fun. She hated it when I made her talk, though. Get her all mad. So. Y'all Minnesota. When she started talking. Then my wife let me in on the fact that she was actually in the Army and that she was probably going to kick my butt if I kept it up. So. Thanks, Marks. No, you don't have to make orbit if the rocket's already in flipping space, okay? All you got to do is shoot it back towards the planet. As soon as it gets in the atmosphere, you blow it up. You know, yeah. 500-600 pound thermonuclear device. I imagine they do. Great man. Yeah, you're down there, Chile expat. Y'all are down there on the southern hemisphere. That's where all the rich people are buying their bug out bunkers and stuff. You run into any rich white folks down there yet? If not, just wait. They'll be showing up. Hey, expatriate, you need to do if you start seeing like a lot of rich white folks come in on private jets and stuff, you need to let people know. Because that gives us a heads up too. Yeah, you mean that whole French thing? Let's not try to pick history apart, okay? I'm just saying. Yeah. I got a deal. They got some. Did you know that Canada has an army? And you can buy army surplus stuff from Canada? Got some really cool bags. Anybody interested? I don't know what to do with this. You know those little satchel things that I'm always toting around or whatever? They have some. This is Sportsman's Guide, Military Surplus, Tactical and Survival Gear. Got it in the mail today. Shut up, Billy. Get off my porch. Billy, the building inspector, is on my porch. You can buy guns from this place. This is the coolest junk magazine I've gotten in a long time. Where to go? Anyway, they're like you can buy a NATO duffel bag. Where did it go? They had a 4-pack of blankets in here. I'm gonna get one of those. Here, it's a 3-pack, like new East German military surplus butt packs. 11 by 11 by 4. 3-way divider interior, web strat latch, metal hardware, made in East Germany, condition like new, never used. May show signs of long-term storage. Non-member of the Buyers Club can get this for $11.99. That would be approximately $4 a satchel. Sorry. Oh, Swiss Army style wool blanket. See, the Army surplus store I went to, I knew that guy was ripping people off. You can buy this blanket from these people for 20. No, wait, hold on, let me get it right, because I looked at a lot of blankets. Okay, it was either $45 or $65 for this blanket. 45. It was $45 for this one, and the officer's blanket, which was the officer's blanket. It was like a super good blanket. Was $65, $69. And this is a big one. It's 86 by 66. Most of them are like 7 foot by 4 foot or whatever. That's a big blanket. %100% wool. No, it's a wool blended material. Dry clean only. What happens if it gets rained on? Is it going to twink? Anyway, yeah, I actually like these things. I was looking for the Canadian thing. They had Canadian pouches in here too. Canadian, eh? You can get a Soviet boonie hat. I'm thinking about it. I mean, after all, I did vote for Trump. I've got to be in collusion. Oh, here's a 4-pack of wool blankets. This is actually pretty cool. Pages are stuck there, though. Not into it. Oh, there's some Israeli pouches. Oh, here it is. Canadian pom-pom. Military surplus pom-poms to cheer the troops onward. I like Canadian. Canadians are cool. French Canadian. Well, no, not even all the French Canadians. Like Canadians, the ones that just count themselves as Canadian, and it doesn't have to be, they don't have to be French or English Canadian. The ones that are just like, we're Canadian. I like those Canadians. And Africa, what? You and God forbid my children in the former USA. What does that mean, Chili? Canadian bacon is ham, dude. And yeah, I like it. Minnesota. Canadian bacon is a good thing. How long have I been on here? Didn't expect anybody to show up, quite honestly. Dun, dun, dun. Ah, been on there an hour. That's not bad for, like, hey, I'm just going to go live and talk to y'all for a while. And what goes on in Africa is such a waste because it's a beautiful country, and if they would just stop, they would just stop. I mean, they gave them guns before they educated them. And that was a mistake. And that's one of the mistakes we're making in our country is we're letting them out into the world before we educate them. You know, your child does not need a smartphone or a tablet or unlimited access to a laptop or anything else until they're educated in the way life works. That's all right, music. I'm gonna have to get off here. Yeah, I'm sure y'all do, Chipper. Um, I'm nothing but a what do you call it? I'm sure that I am a never-ending fount of useful information and educational tidbits. Life-changing. I'm probably a life-changing speaker. I should probably see if I can get a speaking circuit. Just travel the world giving uplifting and whatever. Yeah. Huh. Hey, anybody who wants to buy my first ticket? Yeah. Something like that, Killer Boom. Y'all were just that you're gonna pop in when I'm fixing the light out. You getting ready for work, brother? You can be my roadie. Yeah, we'll just cruise around. I'm still thinking about buying that van and turning it into the drum mobile. Just cruise around doing uh, dangerous rainbow unicorn stuff. And yeah, I just think it'd be funny. Oh, you got days off? The designated soberest driver. That won't be hard to do. I don't drink much. Uh, I figured out though I drink less if I quit trying to quit drinking, and just realize that I'll just drink when I want to, and not when just because somebody else is. I don't have to drink just because somebody else is. So I just don't drink much. I need to get in there and start the mead. That's what I need to do. Yeah, he was supposed to be driving, but he got drunk. There you go. Cool. If I'd have known that, I'd have made the 9 hour drive. Yeah, it's drink or don't drink. That's up to you. I don't care what you do, man. That's between you and God. It ain't none of my business. Just don't expect me to say, well, that's okay with God if it's not. If it's not okay with God, it's not okay with God. But just because it's okay with me doesn't mean it's okay with God. And just because I don't have a problem with it, you're being your life doesn't necessarily mean that I don't have a problem with it. Just means that it's none of my business. So I just stay out of it. Well, if there's that many of them down there, I don't want to go. Yeah, but did they speak English? Because I don't want to have to learn how to speak Spanish. I don't know how to get at it. Language don't make any sense to me. I've tried a couple, 3 or 4 times. I used to be able to speak a little bit of it. A little Spanglish. Yeah, it's a jaunt from El Paso to Texarkana. It takes a little bit. Takes a little bit to get there. All right, Chile expatriate family. You have a good looking family, by the way, dude. I do actually watch some of your videos every. Yeah, most of it up here is manufactured, dude. Uh, almost all of it. Ain't that about the time you got married, Chipper? I'm just asking. I'm not making any. Hey, C103, you can't blame that on me. Or is it that I make you want to drink, or is it that I make drinking sound fun? Which one is it? I'll take drinking sounding fun in moderation. Or is it all that doom report I keep throwing out there? Prep all you want to. We're all gonna die. Oh, okay. My wife didn't drink till she met me either. Come think of it. There might be a correlation there after all. Um, uh, just a boss man. I don't know. Uh, if all of the paperwork was in order and it was a live thing and there were witnesses on both sides of the transmission, if it was done in real time and there were witnesses to the ceremony on both sides of the line, and all the paperwork was in order and the person officiating was licensed to do so, I believe, yeah, why? I believe it probably would be. Just maybe. And figure out how to keep them off of it. They probably done. I let Billy. I had him pinned up. I let him out so he could graze some. He's probably back there walking all over because it's wet again. That's true. And if you got a problem, and this is on my every time I talk about it, if you got a problem with drinking, if it's something that controls you instead of the other way around, don't do it. That's with anything. My anyhow, guys, it's 4:38. I told my wife I'd have the dishes done when she got home. If I don't get in there and get started, I will have made myself a liar. So, God bless y'all. Y'all stay alive, don't die. Just ate. I think you're already married. I'm just saying. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. If you were just asking for a friend, that's okay. I'm not so worried. But yeah, I got 20 minutes in. Yeah, I don't wash dishes that fast. And I got a brand new dishwasher out there in the shed. I ain't installed yet. Does that make me a procrastinator or an idiot? Or both? Do not answer. Huh? God bless y'all. Y'all stay alive. Don't die. Don't get killed by the cabooses. No drinky driving. No getting irradiated. Just don't do any of the negative things in life that could cause you trouble. All right? Love all y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Did I say the sun came out?